the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Turn 3 Racing Network. As tonight we're here with OP Racing Premier Superspeedway Series. They bring you the night theme 250 right here at Daytona. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. My name is KR Stolfus, and in the booth with me is the illustrious Al Smith. Al, how you doing?
Not too bad, KR. Welcome to be here at the Daytona International Speedway. Well, the pool table smooth Daytona Superspeedway here tonight. Last week at the Legacy, got a little bit rough. Knocked some of the caps out of your teeth. Well, tonight, some of the wrecks might get those caps a little bit looser.
They are going to be hauling the mail here at Daytona. Those wrecks definitely will rattle your teeth, but qualifying is underway for tonight's night theme 250. Seth Groover in the 0-2. And his brother, Patrick Groover, making that appearance here tonight. We're going to keep an eye on Groover House Racing throughout this night. Those two show up, and they are a powerhouse when they can get hooked up.
That they are, and you got to keep an eye on those drivers. Is Seth working down here through turns 3 and 4. Nobody putting a lap up as of yet. What's he going to take to get to the pole here tonight, Jared? And then here comes a bunch of times, KR.
Yeah, everyone's splashing across the start-finish line as we get into our first laps being turned in qualifying. Joe Dellavecchia in the 052 on pole position for the moment. David Booth in the 77 up into second. JD Crowe, Seth Groover, and Hunter Reynolds, your top 5 right at the moment. Sebastian Marin out on the speedway. He's going to make his way across the start-finish line. And Sebastian in the 23 jumps to the top of the board with a 50.22. Right behind him, that is Kevin Freese in second spot. So time's coming in very fast. Al, who you watching?
We'll take a look right now at the number 53 of Dave Hunt rolling through turns 3 and 4. Trying to get up to speed here. You're going to see what kind of lap that this driver can put down as they come across the line to the tri-oval here. We'll take and find out where Hunt's going to go. Dave Hunt is going to slide into that 14th starting spot. And as we've seen each and every week, KR, doesn't necessarily matter where you start. Tonight's racetrack, a track position race. Track's tight, very fast, lots of grip. I think you're going to want to be up front, and you're going to want to stay up front.
Yeah, track position is going to be important, but man, anytime you get up front, you know you're going to have to slice and dice. We've seen these guys do it time and time again, so you've got to get those elbows up in the air.
Definitely going to have to do that with another driver just put in the time in is the 52 of Randall Cobb. Will slide into that 10th spot. Another driver out on the racetrack, the driver from New York. Car number 14, this is Cody Eldred. Eldred out there trying to put in a fast time. Fellow New Yorkian. To me, of course, KR, not you.
Well, thank goodness. I don't think I'd get along too well in New York.
Probably not.
So Cody Eldred in the 14 off of turn number 3, making his way for the start-finish line. Kevin Freese and Sebastian Marin still on the front row. Cody Eldred, good enough for 20th spot Alex Green in the 3. Gonna flash across the start finish line, and he puts himself in the 25th spot.
Zach Workman going to come across the line in that Instacart number 19. Let's see where Workman will go. Workman going to jump up to spot number 4. So 4th overall so far for Zach Workman. Another driver coming across the line is going to be this number 54 or 95 of Jimmy Mayer. Mayer coming through the triangle. We'll see where the Hall of Famer is going to go. 13th KR.
Jim Mayer posted up in the 13th spot, but still got some time left in qualifying. The 40 of Peter DeBorgia. Mixed Master PJ over on Twitch, last week's race winner, the 40 across the start finish line, and he is going to put himself into 12th place for the moment.
Another driver, Zach Fritz, is going to go 19th. Here comes Bob Lacavera across the line. Lacavera is going to go into spot number 31. So not one of the best laps for Mr. Lacavera, but we'll see him up front in no time flat. I am suspectful of that. Logan Helton up on the racetrack right now, getting up to speed. KR, this driver's been fast the last few weeks, picking up the win at the Talladega Superspeedway to round out the month of March. We know this Nexus Esports number 63 has some speed in it.
Logan Helton always a threat to win each and every week that he shows up. One win so far this season for Logan. He's got a good possibility of making it into the playoffs. Just got to start a few more races and he will be locked in.
Yeah,
so
talking about that, Garrett. This is only 5 races remaining. So a good chance to point your way in if you haven't raced Victory Lane.
Absolutely. We got a shout out to Daniel Holloway coming from YouTube chat. Right now, Daniel Holloway finding himself in 24th in qualifying. Patrick Gruber from Gruber House Racing, the 01 machine, makes his way off of turn number 4 and headed for the start finish line. Qualifying starting to wind down. The 01 gonna post a time good enough for 13th spot. Logan Helton jumps up into 4th place. Gabe Butler now supplants him. Butler in the 4th, Logan Helton 5th. Anthony English in the 44. Now making his way around the super speedway as Jeff Crosby ends up in 16th spot. To one car out on the speedway to turn a qualifying time. Andy Brigante and Dan Harrington have not turned a qualifying time yet, as we are inside of 2 minutes left in qualifying. I don't think those two plan to qualify, as Anthony English begins his timed lap. He's going to have plenty of time to get that lap in. So with that being said, we are going to step away for the national anthem. No one go anywhere. We'll be back with your official starting lineup.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as our drivers are taking to the grid, and that means it is time to go through tonight's starting lineup for the Night Theme 250 presented by Butt Kicker. Sebastian Marin on the front row inside with a 50.223, making him your quick time qualifier here tonight. Kevin Fries on his outside in the 25 machine. Both drivers from Bootnaka Racing locking out that front row. Row number 2 going to be Joey D in the 052 and Gabe Butler in the 88. Row 3 will be the 63 of Logan Helton in the 19 of Zach Workman. Row number 4 will be the 77 of David Booth from Checkered Flag Motorsports. On his outside, another Bootnaka, that is the 2 of JD Crow. Row number 5 will be made up of Groover Racing, Seth Groover, and FSR, that is the 26 of Hunter Reynolds.
Starting in that 11th position is going to be car number 4 of Rick Seabrands. Outside him, Anthony English. Josh Milam will roll off 13th. 14th will go to Randall Cobb. 15th to Peter DeBorgia. And outside of row number 8 will be Patrick Groover in a Groover House Racing number 01. 17th will go to Jeffrey Crosby Jr. in that number 33. 18th will go to Sean Stevens, Jim Mayer, and Mark Mann rounding out your top 20 starters.
Richard Kuhn and Tyler Miller will make up row number 11. Row 12 will be Travis Elliott and Eric Laurie. Row number 13 will be Zach Fridge and Les Levy. Row 14, the 53 of Dave Hunt and the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds. Row 15, Daniel Holloway and Cody Eldred.
First starting spot is going to go to Doug Rice. Sean McCarrick will roll off 32nd. Then the 33rd starting spot will be the 73 of Jacob Forbes. And outside him in the Ford number 6, this is Dustin Barber. Cody Ober will roll off 35th. 36th will go to Alex Green. David Overstreet, 37th. Bob Lancavera, 38th. 39th would go to Jeremy Funk. Andy Briganti and Dan Harrington, your 41 car starting field. KR, 41 cars, a tight Daytona International Speedway. This one is gonna get wild.
That it is. Let's take a quick look at some of our race info here tonight. So far, we have had 6 winners in 7 races. Stages here tonight ending on lap 25 and 50. 12 to 14 lap fuel runs. Right now, 5 drivers could get in on points. One fast repair available, and the green flag is out for the first time here in the Night Theme 250 as OP Racing Super Speedway Series heads off into turn number 1.
Everybody doing a good job getting up through the gearbox here as they work through the corner. Looks like yellow flag at the back of the field here. Multiple cars going around. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Okay, and I am trying to get over to see who's involved over there. There is a big pile up of cars in turn number 1.
Let's back this up and see what went wrong for several of our race cars. Bob Lacavera in the 5 gonna get caught up into this. He was not the only one. It looked like going into turn 1, things got very hectic.
It almost looked like Elliott's car had a puff of smoke come out, like the motor blew, and then oil laid down. Everybody else just nowhere to go. Did you notice that as well, KR?
It was a bit awkward. So with that being said, we're going to take a quick break. No one going anywhere. We'll be back to fire them off once again.
Racing, you wanted the best, you got them 4 abreast, often imitated, never duplicated, the greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as this race is going to attempt to fire off once again. Some stories coming in from pit road. Travis Elliott with a busted shifter is what led to our most recent caution. So bad news for Travis Elliott. Cody Eldred, they are both off the lead lap now. Sean McCarrick also no longer on the lead lap. We'll see if Bob Lacavera is going to be able to get out and rolling before the field makes its way around to put him 1 lap down. So early issues here trying to be overcome by 3 drivers in this field. So Al, we're going to try this once again.
Yeah, once again there, and tough break for Travis Elliott. Looks like they might have gotten it fixed here. Not looks like he's tagged onto the back side of this pack. So good quick teamwork down in the pits in that Monster Energy camp for that 51 of Elliott, but a long night to hoe. Already 4 laps in the arrears along with Mr. McCarrick. So green flag gonna come out, and it is the Gruber House Racing Team up on the front row. Patrick down low, Seth on the outside as they work down into turn number 1, and it is Sebastian Marin giving a good push to our friend Yoshi out on the front of this one. Through turns 1 and 2 they will come.
And Sebastian Marin in the 23 pushing hard on the 02. He and Kevin Freese going to move in tandem to the outside lane, and they're going to make quick work of Seth Gruber, and he is going to fall to 4th place as Joey D was able to get in line as well. So there you go, very quick and teamwork being on display there from Bootnaka Racing. Eddie Crow, Sebastian Marin, Kevin Freese, and Joey D, your team Bootknockers.
Everybody get in Jocelyn. More trouble down low in the turn number 1. Eric Laurie involved. And the yellow flag gonna come out. Just caught the tail end of it. I saw cars down on the apron in the turn number 1. The yellow flag's gonna come out for the second time here tonight. Mark Mann also involved in this one.
Take a look and see what happened here. Everyone wiggling hard. And then Eric Laurie got a shot and collects Mark Mann in the 04. The 071 and the 04 are both able to continue. Hey, Butler in the 88.
Everybody did a good job hitting the hooks there. Slow down. Mark Mann is an innocent bystander in that, KR.
As we get the right person selected here. See, Mark Mann tried to get down low, minding his own business, and it's a hard shot from Eric Laurie. Everyone else able to miss him. But Eric Laurie to his outside, check up in the second lane, and Mark Mann, the one that goes for a spin.
Tough go to get this one started here tonight. Everybody trying to fight for a position. They all how important track position is. I want to thank everybody for tuning on in here tonight. I got a good crowd tuning on in here at the Daytona International Speedway on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And once again, I thank you for giving me the invite to join you here on, well, the premier stage for Superspeedway racing, the OP Premier Series. These drivers are the best of the best in the business.
So Sebastian Marin makes his way off of pit road. Logan Helton, who did not come down pit road, assumes the race lead. Peter DeBorgia also stayed out. So Logan Helton and Peter DeBorgia running 1 and 2 now. Cody Eldred receiving the free pass in the 14. He is going to get back on the lead lap. That leaves Travis Elliott and Sean McCarrick, the two drivers who are not currently on the lead lap. 41 drivers taking the green flag here. All 41 cars still running. Even though it's lap 8 of 100, we are working our second caution of the night.
Yeah, and it's not over with yet. We know we got a stage break coming up on lap 25 and another stage break on lap 50. Those are our 2 stage breaks. So whoever is leading those 2, assuming no one else goes down 1 lap, KR, they will get back on the free pass just alone on the stage break there, as long as they're not involved or make contact with anybody with the iRacing scoring system here. But it will be interesting to see who makes it out of those two. Both those drivers, very quick, fast drivers. And we've already documented the issues that Elliott has had here this evening with that broken shifter. Rumor is bungee cords and vice grips is what's in that 51 car.
Bungee cords and vice grips. Better get a couple more because the first batch didn't work too well.
Well, I'm saying that's what's in it now.
Oh, well. Should have started with that then, apparently.
Well, I mean, he is driving a Chevy, so we won't start that tonight. I'll behave.
Oh my. Two by two, we make our way down the back stretch. The lights have gone out on the safety vehicle. We're going to get ready to fire them off once again. And stage one is going to end at the completion of lap 25. Logan Helton and Kevin Freese, row number 1 for this restart. Row 2 will be the 052 of Joey D, and on his outside, the 23 of Sebastian Marin. Then it's Gabe Butler, Hunter Reynolds, and I guess Zach Workman for 3 cars on the inside, or for row 3.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure who's in what row there. They're all jostling for position underneath the yellow flag. This is going to be a good one. The full moon out here at Daytona. Pace car down and away. It is Logan Helton and Zach Freese up on the front of this one, going to bring us to the green flag. We are back underway in the 19250 here at Daytona National Speedway. Helton going to get a good start with Joey Delavecchia right there behind him, and that 052 giving him a good push into turn number 1.
Down into turn 1 they go side by side. The cars desperately trying to get up to speed. It is a struggle with that big old restrictor plate to get these cars up to speed in any sense of urgency, I guess you could say. But everyone has the same restrictor plate, and it all comes down to who can get through the gearbox the best.
Yeah, and it's tough right now on the outside line. That third car in line of Zach Workman having a little bit of electrical issues there, and it makes it a little bit tough for the drivers behind them trying to stay committed, not knowing if you're gonna, that electrical issue is gonna bite them. These cars dancing around way more than I was anticipating. You see them wiggling all the way down here into turn number 1. These cars on the ragged edge here tonight, they are, and these drivers are gonna have their hands full.
Yeah, it's going to be a very busy race for our drivers. One of the things I like to say is get those elbows up.
They're going to have to here tonight as Zach Freese on the outside line. Getting a good push by the 23 of Sebastian Marin. That nice looking paint scheme back there, the McDonald's. Working there. I like when the drivers make their paint schemes like that, KR, because it's not really the McDonald's scheme. It's the Marin Esports, number 23.
Well, there you go. Little play on a paint job.
I like it.
Nothing wrong with that. So the field up to almost up to full speed. Doug Rice at a 46.40, fastest lap of this race so far. Doug Rice in the 35 finds himself all the way down in 26th. That 35 trying to go 3 wide at the moment with Eric Laurie in the 071 right behind, or right to his outside, now sliding in behind him.
Right now, not one line or one lane seems to be better than the other. They are all just stacked up 2 by 2 at 190 plus miles an hour. They go roaring through turns 1 and 2 and then down the super stretch here at the Daytona National Speedway. Joey Della Vecchia starting to taking that high time 0.52. That car dancing around on the straightaway, KR. That's got to be a little nervy for that driver.
It's very difficult to keep your eyes out ahead of you and also know where your car is on the track, and then throw in that car is wiggling back and forth all the way down the sideway, all the way down the straightaway. But Joey Della Vecchia doing a great job in that 0.52. He does got quite a bit of a wiggle, but good news for him, he does have a win on the season so far. And with 8 starts to his credit, just one more start to go, and he locks himself into playoff contention.
Okay, winning 5 weeks ago right here at the Daytona International Speedway. The Joey D liking this racetrack, running up front here once again in that 3rd spot. As they work around the Speedway, all 41 cars still out onto the racetrack. As they dance around, Free's going to lead that lap by just a bumper cap over the 63 of Helton. A lot of good look cars. You got some cars that have kind of dropped back a little bit. Peter DeVorge, the last car, picking up the win last week. Last car in this lead pack draft, right there behind Eric Laurie in that 071 John Deere entry. Then you got another pack that's off of this one, running a single file. That's being led by the 02 of Seth Gruber. Not sure if this was by design or not, KR, but they are about 6 seconds behind the race leader.
Well, I can tell you, riding on board with Peter DeVorja, he is right where he wants to be. He doesn't want to be in the front mixing that up. He's got that win. He's got himself locked into playoff contention. I have a feeling that he is now just trying to survive. He's not going to worry about stage points.
Right there, and I'm not sure if he was one of the cars involved in one of the early wrecks here on lap 1 or lap number 4. Everybody working around the speedway and putting on a good show for us. Like they do week in and week out, a little bit of action. 3 wide behind him, that's the 95, but Jim Mayer going to take him 3 wide. This is the battle for that 17th position, make it 12th position. Not 17th, I can do math. They settled it out to be back 2 wide, but they were 3 wide for a moment there. And that usually does not work out well here at the Daytona International Speedway.
No, but they settle it down, and we're working lap 17 of 100. Right now, we are on board with the 95 of Jim Mayer, as he is tucked in behind the 01 of Patrick Gruber, trying to get to the end of stage 1 on a race car's last on pit road on lap 7. That might just have been their cutoff, but a few drivers have not made a pit stop for a while now. We're going to see who is going to be coming down pit road before the end of the stage, or if everyone thinks they can make it from here on out.
Hey, Cody Eldridge going to go down pit road. He'll go 1 lap to the rear after being the free pass recipient on our last yellow flag. Only 8 laps left until the end of stage number 1, as they are working lap number 17 right now. It'll be interesting to see who can make it, or if people decide to come down pit road. Maybe if they get racing up here, maybe some people will bail out of it. You never know. But it's going to be hard to get on pit road from the outside lane. So you got to start working your way down towards that yellow line if you're going to come to pit road. And I'm very the outside line and inside line, very equal so far in the early stages of this 19-250 here at the Daytona International Speedway.
Logan Helton in the 63, one of those drivers who pitted on lap 2 for our first caution, but did not come back down pit road since, so he was down on that inside line. Got a little bit of fuel left in the tank by my calculation, but it doesn't mean that he's going to be able to make it to the end, or that my calculation is correct in any sort of way. Now, you know as well as I do, anytime we think something will happen, it doesn't happen. Anytime we say there's no way they can do it, they do it.
Absolutely. That's why we're up here, KR.
Right? That's why we're up here.
They like to keep us on our toes.
Well, I'm actually sitting down, so I'm not on my toes. That's
How can you
probably
be
why.
sitting down during this? Look at the action. These guys are white and knuckled. How can you be sitting down?
Mostly because I'm lazy.
Ah, well, at least you're honest.
Yeah. So all 41 race cars are still out there. Cody Eldred, Travis Elliott, and Sean McCarrick not on the lead lap. Everyone else running very close to each other. Jared Forbes, last car on the lead lap in the 73, finding himself almost 9.3 seconds behind our race leader. As they are going across the start-finish line right now. They got this little pack going on. That includes Les Levy in the 62, Mark Mann in the 04, Andy Brigante, Sean Stevens, and Seth Gruber leading this pack of drivers. We are working lap 21 of 100.
Car number 21 taking it 3 wide. He's got some help by Josh Milam and Jim Mayer. They are 3 wide here, working through turns 3 and 4. You can tell that the end of the stage starting to come up. The drivers know how important these points are going to be in the book. Wild Racing 52 of Randall Cobb jumping to the outside. So we are going to go 3 wide racing here, KR, in the turn number 1, and it is led by Randall Cobb on the outside. He's got the little wafers. Number 21 giving him a good shot to the outside. So 3 lines of racing as they work off turn number 2.
Stage points being very important this season, and now you're seeing them battle it out for this first stage win. Randall Cobb in the 52 on the high side. Daniel Holloway up there, Josh Milam and Jim Mayer all up on the high side trying to get that momentum going. Kevin Freese and Logan Helton down on the bottom as we're now on lap 23 of 100. This stage going to be ending very, very quickly.
Good even throws here to the corner, and it is the number 21 of Holloway giving a good push to Randall Cobb. Elton down low. Which lane is going to have the momentum down the backstretch? 9, 12, 14 cars underneath the blanket in the turn number 3. Randall Cobb with the nose out front, but here comes the Nexus Esports number 23 of Logan Helton back down low. 63. He's getting a good push by Holloway, and they're going to come up as now Logan Helton bailing out, not coming to pit road here with just 2 laps remaining in stage number 1. Logan Helton's going to bail from the race lead down to pit road.
So the 63 has to hit pit lane with 2 laps to go here in stage number 1. Big shakeup at the front, but everyone was able to get through it. But it did fizzle out that 3rd lane. And now Zach Workman jumps up to the 3rd lane trying to get something going. Joey D battling his teammate Kevin Freese in the 25 for this stage win. Gabe Butler in the 88 right there as well.
You remember Marion, one of the drivers with the most stage wins this season, up to 5 wins after last week in the stages. So knows how to get the stage wins done. Unable to grace victory lane as of yet. Don't count that 23 car out of it just yet, Pierre. Showing the speed week in and week out. A great pusher, great teammate to his teammates as they are still stacked up 2 by 2. Coming back to the green and white checkered flag in stage number 1. Who's it gonna be?
Down the backstretch, trouble for Zach Workman, but he's able to hold on to a big wiggle halfway down the backstretch. But Joey D and Kevin Freese gonna battle this one out for the stage win. As there's trouble behind them. Dan Harrington involved, Rick Seabrand's involved, and the caution flag is going to come out. And I do not know who is going to be our stage winner, either Joey D or Kevin Freese.
I believe Kevin Freese may have been out front at the point of the yellow flag.
Let's take a look at what brought out the yellow. David Booth in the 77 gets turned, catches Rick Searands in the 4. Back it up just a little bit more, and it's the 3 and 4 wide, the 52 of Randall Cobb coming down. Dan Harrington getting turned in the 82. So, caution out for the end of stage number 1. And Joey D lining up right behind the pace car, giving us a good indication that he thinks he won stage 1.
I'm gonna say unofficially that seems like it's gonna be KR. I thought maybe Freese was out front there, but congratulations to Joey Della Vecchia for picking up the stage 1 win, as they will all come down pit road here for the second time tonight.
So on the pit road goes the 052. Into his pit box, and we're going to wait for just a moment before we break in and interrupt his concentration. We're going to get to talk to Joey D here, your stage 1 winner. Good race off of pit road. Logan Helton, Gabe Butler very close. Let's go ahead and see if we can't get Mr. Joey up in the broadcast booth. Give me just a moment here. Dialing his long phone number. Joey D, this is KR up in the broadcast booth. You got your ears on, bud?
Hey, buddy, how are you, man?
Man, I'm doing just fine. Stage 1 in the books, and unofficially, you're the stage winner.
Yeah, man, that was awesome. Flag was thrown a little early, I think, but yeah, it was a good run.
All right, man. Well, tell us a little bit about stage 1. It looks like those cars are a little bit of a handful tonight.
Yeah, they're a little shaky on exit. We got a little ping pong going on, but yeah, it's not bad. I'm having a good time.
So a little ping pong action along with driving a race car doesn't sound too stable.
Oh, it's not fun at all. No, especially when you're a quarter inch off the guy in front of you. But yeah, Logan was holding a good line. So, but still, you're getting a little arrow ping pong off. It's weird. It's different.
Well, man, your stage win here for you at Daytona. Any shout outs or thank yous you'd like to give?
I'd like to give thanks to my teammates, Knockers. They're gonna try and get Kevin locked in tonight, and I think we'll have a good race. I'd like to thank you for your broadcast and OP for putting on a great race.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on the stage win. Good luck in the rest of the race.
Thank you, sir.
That is Joey D from Team Bootnaka, your stage 1 winner, lining up as we get ready to fire him off once again. He's a 4th car on that inside line. Logan Helton in the 63, winning the race off of pit road, sacrificed a stage points to give himself that front row here in stage number 2.
What do you think of that call, KR? Coming in right there, getting saved by that yellow flag, not using a lot of fuel. Puts him right up front. I kind of like it.
Good heads up move by the 63 and his crew chief. Almost like they had that one planned out.
Absolutely, and the driver on the outside, Gabe Butler, started back in spot number 4. He's been up front all the race long. And that Guinness Motor Oil number 88. 25, Kevin Freese runs in that spot number 3. How about this driver? Back in the red skull can tonight. Jeffrey Crosby in that 33 running in the 4th spot, up 13 positions. Started back in spot number 17 as the pace car. Gonna go to the safe haven of pit road Stage number 2, going to get the green flag. The checker flag will wave on lap 50. For this one, his green flag is back out and Helton with a good start. But it is Gabe Butler and the 33 of Crosby giving a good push to that outside line. It's going to be dead even in turn number 1.
Riding on board with the 33 for this restart as he pushes on the 88 of Butler just ahead of him. They make their way onto the backstretch. So far, this field still running side by side and gathering speed the entire time they're down the backstretch.
Everybody doing a good job. Already seeing a little bit of separation towards the back of the field where drivers starting to hang back a little bit out of this main pack. I would suspect those are the drivers there that have been affected by those first early cautions. I would assume those are the drivers hanging back right now, trying to just get past stage number 2, and they'll put themselves in for the win here tonight.
Logan Helton starting to edge out ahead of that outside line. Kevin Friesen, the 25, making the move to the second lane as he had a good run on Logan Helton. And he's going to use that momentum to try and surge on ahead into the race lead. Heads off into turn 3, stays to the high side, does not slice down in front of the 63. Did not quite having cleared enough, and that is going to allow Logan with a good run through the corner to take the lead back.
And we look at the number 02 of Patrick Gruber trying to work to the outside, or that's Seth Gruber, excuse me, trying to get hooked up with Mario, aka the other Gruber House racing car. He'll tuck it back in line. Alex Green at number 3, he's been fast the last few weeks. Hasn't quite got the results looking for in that Advanced Auto Parts number 3, but he's been fast week in and week out as he runs right there in spot number 15. So the top 15 cars, all double filed and single filed out behind them. Oh, trouble!
Trouble from the front row.
JD Crow making hard contact. Zach Workman coming in sliding as well. Alex Green has gone around.
Let's back this up and see what happened at the front of the field. The 25 and the 63 looked like the 25 maybe touched the apron. Logan Helton gets to the back bumper and just cannot get up off the throttle as that chain of cars was pushing hard.
Patrick Gruber, Seth Gruber involved. Joey Delavecchia, our stage 1 winner, going to go around. He gets some hard contact as well. JD Crow going to make very hard contact with the inside retaining wall. Thank goodness for the safer barrier down there. It has a hard impact for JD Crow, able to drive away. That car bent up.
A lot of cars getting torn up again here, and another big one. Joey Delavecchia, your stage 1 winner, involved in this one. Lots of race cars on the pit road, making their way down for what will be possibly the only stop here in this stage.
The question is, depending on how much damage you have, do you have to pull the backup car out now? Not even to the halfway point of this race. You have to pull it out now, or can you get away with just doing some damage repair? Obviously, some of these cars absolutely need the backup car. But it'll be interesting to see. They got some time here. They don't necessarily need to panic. The pace, about a minute for a pace lap. It'll be interesting to see what kind of call is made here for some of these drivers. And then, do they even have a backup car remaining?
Yeah, we've had several big ones already in just lap 33 of 100. Ooh, man. Strategy usually try and hold on to that fast repair till you get to the third stage. But as you mentioned, can you get through this stage without going a lap down, or do you have a car torn up so bad that you have to take a fast repair?
Josh Milam coming out of the pits. He's missing the front bumper cap, electing not to use the backup car on that number 7. See if he comes back down pit road.
A lot of work to be done to that 7 machine. Is going to get plenty of airflow to the engine, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's very good aerodynamically.
If he can stay tucked up inside the draft for that number 7, I assume he could probably stay with at least the cars in front of him, but that is a lot of parachuting in the front of that car.
Travis Elliott making his way around. He took the wave around. So Travis Elliott getting one of his laps back. Still has a long way to go for the 51. Lights are out on the safety vehicle as we're going to stack up the race cars side by side. Gabe Butler and Logan Helton on the front row for this restart. Then it's Rick Seabrans and the 44 of Anthony English for row number 2.
Bob Lacavera, look at that. AR, I told you keep an eye on this driver. Didn't have the best qualifying effort here tonight. Finds himself up inside the top 5 with car number 5. He's sitting there up 33 spots in the 5th position. Right outside him, Daniel Holloway as well. Another big mover here tonight. A lot of comers and goers trying to stay out of these wrecks. We'll see what happens here on this restart. The pace car about to peel off the racing surface.
Pace car gonna get out of the way. Gabe Butler assumes control of the field as the green flag is out, and we get back to racing here in the Night Theme 250. Stage number 2 going to end at the completion of lap 50. And we have got to get up to speed, and it takes about a lap or 2 to make that happen.
Yeah, they shake their plates here. The cars all getting back up to speed as they work off the turn number 2 for the first time, and it is Helton and Butler. I believe those were the only 2 cars not involved in that last wreck. Everybody else getting a piece of it, or at least having to come to a stop. And what a move right there. Helton going from the top shelf to the bottom real quick there to block the advances of the 88 of Butler as they come off of turn number 4. These drivers battling, jostling for position, trying to stay up front so they don't get involved in an accident. But as we just saw, accidents can happen anywhere, anytime in Superspeedway racing.
You've always got to keep your eyes forward because the crash isn't necessarily coming from the car right in front of you. It'll be 3-4 cars up. And so you've got to be able to react and get into a safe zone. You know, your own little safe space. No one can bother you.
Right now, not a lot of drivers in their safe space. Now Butler going to jump to the outside out in front of English. English going to give him a good push. One almost contact there between Seabrands and English. Now Holloway giving a push to English. English sideways. He'll hold on to it. These cars dancing around. We heard from Joe Delavecchia just how much of a handful these cars are. They are pushing on each other at 190 plus miles an hour. Now, and in the second, he brings Seabrands in that Yeti sponsored number 4, keeping it nice and cool down on the inside as he holds on to the 3rd position. So everybody's starting to Maybe take a deep breath, realize, hey, we still have plenty of time here. We don't need to push, we don't need to shove as hard as we have been. So we will see how that works out. And as I say, that out is going to go from the inside to the outside. Get that push from English into turn number 1.
So Anthony English in the 44, the second car in the outside lane. Right behind him, Daniel Holloway in that Nilla Wafers 21. Bob Lacavera in the 5. One of those drivers who has a lot of speed week in and week out, but man, it always seems like if there is a crash, it is somewhere around Bob Lacavera and he is caught up in it. The times he has kept his car clean and been able to finish, he gets a top 10 finish.
Yeah, and he's been just the guy. Like he's in someone else's mess, as you were just saying, KR. So looking for a good run here tonight is that 5 of Bob Lacavera. They work here through the tri-oval, working lap 39 as they work here. So almost 10 laps remaining, just over 10 laps remaining here in stage number 2.
Check in on a few of our other cars here. The 40 of Peter DeBorgia right now finds himself in 34th spot. He is 14 seconds, almost 15 seconds behind our race leader. And he has got Dan Harrington in the 82 getting to his back bumper. So those two are going to get hooked up. And they're going to try and stay on the lead lap. That would be ideal, but they're very easily quite a bit slower than the lead pack as it is in full song with everybody in this group.
And just a moment right there by the 24 of Miller. He looked like Kevin Freese was going to come down and had to check out of it, broke up that inside line just for the moment. Now they are back together here as they work down the backstretch.
Tyler Miller in the 24 on the inside. Joey Delavecchia, who just had to use a fast repair in that 052, finds himself trying to break into the top 10 as the yellow flag is going to come out.
Cody Eldridge in trouble in turns 3 and 4. The reason for the yellow flag here, I'm not sure what happened to him, but the front bumper cap missing on that number 14.
You know how I said keep your eyes up because the crash isn't coming from the car directly in front of you?
Yep.
Well, that's what catches out the 14 of Cody Eldred. The 77 and the 53 bump into each other. That shoves the 53 up into the 14. And that puts the 14 hard into the wall. He is able to continue. But the caution flag does come out.
A tough break. Cody Eldridge not having the night that he was hoping for here. And that car has seen better days. Him and the number 7 of Josh Milam looking like twinsies out there.
Twinsies. I like it. Al, you're silly.
Well, hey. Let's see if we get any takers to come down pit road. Logan, oh, I thought Helton was going to come. Does not. Jeremy Funk going to be the first car to come down pit road.
So top 24 stay out. Everyone else hitting pit lane. Gabe Butler, your race leader, last on pit road on lap 32. So he's going to more than likely be able to make it to the end of this thing.
Yellow laps have to be helping with that as well.
Good old caution laps. Saving fuel under yellow.
Fuel conservation. It's important in today's day and age. Are you walking around the garage here tonight, KR?
Actually, no, I didn't get to do my normal grid walk and chit chat with everybody. So,
Well, I can tell you that the Sunoco race fuel that these guys have to run in these cars, $22 a gallon.
That's expensive.
Well, that's why they have all these great sponsors on the race cars.
Dang, I gotta get me one of those sponsors. All right, well, let's see, lights should go out on the pace car this time. An old iRacing safety vehicle. Gonna get out of the way here in just one more lap.
It still doesn't know what it is.
No, it's like almost like it's Aston Martin meeting a Ford.
Hyundai.
Hyundai.
The Hyundai or Hyundai?
Whatever.
That's a good poll. Is that like the tomato debacle?
Yeah. Potato.
Yep. I prefer French fries.
Each their own. I like French fries, but a good old baked potato does me just fine as well.
Oh yeah, put a little butter on that. Maybe they'll serve us some up here in the booth tonight.
Can we get some room service up here? Just wondering. All right, Patrick Gruber and Seth Gruber. Looks like for the moment they have gone behind the wall, and maybe their night is done and over with. The 01 and 02 behind the wall. So an early exit for those two.
Yeah, they joined Hunter Reynolds, KR. Just noticing that the Reynolds wrap number 26 has called it a night.
Yeah, Hunter Reynolds calling it a night very early. He did it before stage 1 was completed. A tough break for 3 of our drivers here. With that being said, 35 cars are still on the lead lap. Dave Hunt in the 53, the last car on the lead lap. Pace car down and in. Green flag is back out. And Gabe Butler in the 88. Logan Helton in the 63. Go rushing off for turn number 1.
Side by side draggers, the lines are. Here's English giving a good push to the outside line of Logan Helton, but the inside line of Gabe Butler. That's got the number 4 of Rick Seabrams. Top 4 car nose down now the outside line, going to start to get together. Here on the outside line. Everybody getting up through the speed. Look at Jimmy Mayer right there. How about our friend Doug Rice in that 35 car inside the top 10, working on the 4th car on the outside line.
Doug Rice in the 35 with Jim Mayer in the 95 right behind him. Then it's Kevin Freese in the 25. Kevin trying to recover from that big crash he had at the end of stage 1. At 25 looked like he was set. Then things went south for him.
They working up through there. We saw sometimes at 25, well, after getting involved in a wreck, playing it safe towards the back of the field, but knows how important that these stage points are. And we just got 6 laps left here in stage number 2. Trying to score those points, and that's what's going to make or break making that top 16 here with just 5 weeks remaining.
Looking out the back of the 88 of Gabe Butler. Rick Seabrams in that Yeti Cooler number 4 machine pushing on his back bumper as the field makes its way through the trioval and heads off into turns 1 and 2. Side by side, we continue to run. Stage number 2, the laps winding down for this one. Just 5 laps to go here in stage 2.
Good battle all the way around this racetrack. The with everybody trying to get in position. Look at that third line starting to come, being led by Anthony English. He's got Miller behind him with Zach Freitz and Barber in that 6 car working the outside. That third lane starting to come into play here late in stage number 2.
Rosales in stage 1 with Randall Cobb in the 52. Trying to use that third lane to give himself a good shot at winning the stage. It did not work out for Cobb, but Anthony English gonna try and do it himself here with some help from a few other cars. And I tell you what, that third lane, always a viable option, but it does get very tight going into the corners.
It does there. English all the way up to that third row. Now Jimmy Mayer washes up, almost gets into the 24 of Miller. That time in turn number 3. Off of turn 4 they come. Some drivers taking the pit road that's being led by the 46 of Overstreet. But all eyes are up out in the front of this one where they are 3 abreast, 3 rows deep. Who's it going to be here to pick up stage number 2?
3 by 3 we go into the corner off of turn 2. They are really squeezing each other as much as they can. Logan Helton in the 63 right there in the middle. Doug Rice in the 35 behind the yellow 21 of Daniel Holloway. That middle lane hanging tough. You don't necessarily always want to be in the middle lane because there's not a lot of room for you to wiggle, but when you're 3 wide here at Daytona, wiggling is the least of your concerns, because if you do wiggle, then you got to worry about saving the race car.
And normally that middle is the soccer hole right now, but they're holding their own. And it looks like that outside line, they can get a few more players up there. They can do some damage up on the outside there. We saw Anthony English in that Fox number 44. He's in that outside lane, and they just can't quite get organized enough. But they got some help coming in the form of the 51 of Travis Elliott. We know he likes the high side. Go high, wide, and handsome as they work around turns 3 and 4. Now there's 4 cars on the outside lane. And that 51 came with some momentum, but they're going to catch some slower traffic here as they come to get the white flag in stage number 2.
Gonna be the final time around here in stage 2. The 73 of Jared Forbes. He is going to make a very harsh break down on the inside to avoid the pack, as Anthony English in the 44 almost getting turned by the 63 of Logan Helton. The English down in the middle lane. Gabe Butler on the yellow line, and man, they are pushing hard. That 44 doing all he can to hold on to as Logan Helton has that bumper glued.
And here comes Miller on the outside. Sebring is giving a good push. Lacavera getting loose back there as well. Joey Delavecchia is loose. Hey, hold on to it, but who's going to win at the line? Helton swings out high. English to the inside, but it's going to be Butler. Butler's going to win by a bumper cap at the line for stage number 2, and the yellow flag will come out. And I believe Gabe Butler had that one by a bumper cap. Talk about a photo finish. 3 abreast there. If that's what the end of this race is going to be like, you might not become so lazy, be on the edge of that seat.
And taking a look at this, you can see that the 88 just has the advantage going across the start-finish line. So Butler, your stage 2 winner. Now it is time to get ready for the final half of this race.
So Gabe Butler picking up the win for Meteor Racing here tonight in stage number 2. That was impressive.
That it was, running 3 wide, that many rows deep for that many laps. Man, we tell you guys time and time again, this OP Racing puts on a heck of a show. All right.
Just tuning in.
Go ahead, Al.
I was just saying, if people are just tuning in, I don't know where you've been. missing out here on a Monday night with us in the booth. Maybe that's why they're just tuning in. Less time with us, KR.
Well, we're enjoyable company.
Yep. How about Travis Elliott, top 10 in stage number 2 after breaking a shifter on the start? So, Channel Lock Vice Grips doing a good job in that 51.
Yeah, he's
Nice.
had to come from multiple laps down to get himself back on the lead lap and getting himself some stage points, but on the pit road they come, Al.
Here they come. Gabe Butler going to lead them down there. So unofficially, your stage 2 winner is that 88 of Gabe Butler. And he'll hit his pit stall and imagine some 4 tires on that car and a full tank of Sunoco race fuel.
Down and away goes the 88. What do you say we dial him up? And we'll let you talk to him for this stage win.
Yeah, Gabe Butler, this is Al Smith up here in the Turn 3 booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Al.
Hey, congratulations on picking up stage number 2. That was exciting here at the end of stage number 2. 3 wide. How white knuckle is it when you guys get racing not only 2 wide, but you know that third lane is up there, and a mistake can be very costly for not only you, but a lot of people involved in that lead draft.
Yeah, 3 wide is it's pretty intense, but more so here at Daytona because the track is a little bit narrower, you know, compared to Talladega. So yeah, you're definitely holding on to that steering wheel.
Well, it's somewhat of a home race for you, coming from Florida, so not that far to get to from the race shop here tonight for you. But man, just talk about what's it going to take in this last final stage. A little bit longer here. You're going to have just about 42-ish laps left to go in this race. What's it going to take to stay up front, stay out of trouble, maybe bring this 88 home in victory lane here tonight?
Well, you know, just trying to get with people that can push you and help when needed, and see if we can get our teammates up here around me and try and take from there. But you know, just want to bring it home clean, and wherever we finish, we finish.
Do you still have your backup car in the pits?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good with that. So, hey, a little bit of a gimme, but you want to keep it clean up there. You're going to restart here on the inside line. See, the lights are out in the pace car before we let you get back to business. Who you got to thank for picking up the stage 2 win?
Big shout out to Rick Seabrands there. I got a great push on the last lap from him. Just edged out Anthony there, so it was really close. And of course, the rest of my Meteor teammates here, trying to get him up here with me if we can.
All right, well, good luck here in the final part of this race here, Gabe. Congratulations on your win. Hopefully we'll be talking to you here at the end.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
There you go. That's stage 2 winner, Gabe Butler, and sounds calm, cool, and collected, KR, for about as how white-knuckled these drivers are. I don't know. I think I'd be more like the Clint Boyer type if I was out there all excited that I finally managed to win something.
I'll tell you what, not much gets Gabe Butler too hot underneath the collar. I tell you, I think that man has an ice chest for a heart, because he doesn't ever seem to get too wound up and make too many mistakes based off of not being able to control his adrenaline.
Is that a nickname that we can call him?
Iceman?
Iceman.
All right, here we go. Lights are out on the safety vehicle. Stage number 3, our final stage, getting ready to start. Down and away goes the pace car, and the green flag drops. Once again, we get back to that thunderous noise as we have 35 cars on the lead lap, and Logan Helton in the 63 already trying to make moves into the outside lane.
He tries to swing around the outside of Kuhn down low. He's working with Gabe Butler. Travis Elliott going to go to the race lead. And I'm going to give an attaboy to that race team right there. Breaking the shifter on lap number 1, being multiple laps down. I assume using that backup car on lap 1. And he is out front leading this race, being aggressive. Just like we talked about in the opening stages here. The 51 of Travis Elliott going to be your race leader. But here comes Mark Mann. Mark Mann with a very fast hot rod working the outside with Logan Hutton giving him a shove.
04 of Mark Mann caught up in one of our earlier incidences in stage 1. Now here he is battling for the race lead. He has the 63 of Logan Hutton, his teammate, on his back bumper. Travis Elliott and the 88 of Gabe Butler down on that yellow line. They're working together very well down the backstretch.
They work very well down here in the turn number 3. Everybody doing a good job so far. Those fresh tires on the cars making a help. Here comes Seabrands. He's up behind Crosby. They work the outside line. Again, trying to get some air on the front end. How important is that when you are pushing cars or back in traffic? To get some fresh air out of that radiator so you don't have a risk of running too hot.
Down through the order, we mentioned 35 cars on the lead lap. The final car on the lead lap, that is the 73 of Jared Forbes as he battles with the 62 of Les Levy. Haven't talked a lot about Checkered Flag Motorsports driver Les Levy in the 62, but he is out on the track despite that fact. And Les currently in 35th. Cody Ober, the first car, one lap down, and in fact, I do believe he is the only car in that one lap down category. So Cody Ober running in a very good spot should the caution come out. He wants to try and avoid any contact, but I will say he doesn't want to lose the draft of the lead pack either.
So they saw how costly that is if you do lose that lead pack. How about Randall Cobb and Dave Hunt? They're going to make that third lane start to work early in this one. We saw the third lane come into play late in the first 2 stages. Well, now Randall Cobb going to bring that Buckwild Racing number 52 to the outside, and he's got Dave Hunt in his back pocket. 2 cars working the extreme high side of the speedway.
So Randall Cobb and Dave Hunt once again utilizing a third lane. Our stage winners, Joey Delavecchia in the 052. He finds himself in 11th spot. And our stage 2 winner, the 88 of Gabe Butler. Both those cars on the inside line, both of them digging hard for the moment.
They are digging very hard as they work down the back stretch. Once again, Travis Elliott really planting that Monster Energy drink car right down on the yellow line. Remember, those double lines out of bounds cannot advance your position below those yellow lines unless you are forced down them. These drivers have been doing this long enough to know not to do that. They have not seen a penalty for that all season long. That's why these guys get invited to come race here on Monday night for the OP Premier Racing Series here on the Turn 3 Racing Network.
Randall Cobb in the 52 continuing to inch his way forward, and now he has that nose officially out in the front. That third lane going to lose a bit of momentum down the straightaway as the caution flag comes out. We got a couple cars in trouble here. Dan Harrington, Eric Laurie, Zach Fritsch involved. Let's see if we can figure out what happened to bring out our first caution here in stage number 3. Looking at the 82 of Dan Harrington as the 7 of Josh Milam tries to take evasive action from the 12 of Zach Fritsch. It looks like the 12 being one of the first ones in trouble.
Well, it looks like the 46 of Dave Overstreet got into the back of Andy Briganti, and that just caught for Zach Fritz and the 73 Yeah, in that as well, KR. The 73 of Jared Forbes. Heavy front end damage on that car.
The caution flag out once again. Travis Elliott in the 51, your race leader. On the pit road, looks like everybody going to make their way on the pit lane this time. Let's see if anyone is going to elect to stay out.
I believe that'll put Cody Ober back on the lead lap. I don't believe he caught any contact when the yellow flag came out. That'll put 36 cars back on the lead lap. Or you can at least take the wave off.
Randall Cobb in the 52 coming off of pit road. Well, the first one's off of pit road. So out, yellow flag out. Drivers having a chance to catch their breath. Breathing is fairly important here.
It is. You see how just intense the racing is. Cody Ober did get that free pass, KR, so that will put 36 cars onto the lead lap. Sean McCarrick staying out on the racetrack. Looks like he'll get the wave around here. And that number 50, that'll put him one lap to the arrears, unless he decides to pit this time. Looks like he'll be coming down pit road.
Logan Helton going to come down, so too is Gabe Butler. So several race cars coming down to top off their fuel tanks.
Just 28 laps or 38 laps remaining, so they would have to stop again anyways. This is a good chance to get a little bit off sequence, pack the car full of a little bit more of that Sunoco race fuel.
Two by two, the field gets stacked up. Waiting for everything to cycle through. Still do only have Patrick Gruber and Seth Gruber out of this one, along with Hunter Reynolds. So 38 race cars still in this race. I believe 35 of them are on the lead lap. Jared Forbes sitting on pit road. He is the last car to leave pit lane. So the 73 fixing a little bit of damage and going a lap down because of it.
Yeah, that car looks like a Northeast asphalt modified rolling off the pit road. The hood's still on it, but the fenders are gone. The nose piece is gone. You get a good look at what the inside of one of these Xfinity race cars look like. The pace car about to go down. Randall Cobb on the inside, Mark Mann behind him. Then on the outside is Travis Elliott and Kevin Freeze in that number 25 car, excuse me. Pace car down on the way, and we're ready to go green flag racing once again here. 37 laps remaining. Green flag is back out. Travis Elliott with a good restart on the outside. He's got a good push by Freeze in that Kellogg's number 25. They drag race in the turn number 1. Everybody holding their line. One car taking a look out low. That was English, but he'll keep it in the outside lane. And 2 by 2, they'll roar off of turn number 2.
They make their way down the back stretch. The 51 out into that clean air. Alex Green in the top 5 in that 3. He was involved in one of those crashes we had earlier. So the black number 3 making his way back into the mix of things.
He is doing a nice job with that Advanced Auto Parts number 3 car. He's going to stick to the backside of Freeze. They're going to put Randall Cobb into the sucker hole. They go 3 wide for a moment. Will they clear him in the turn number 1? Freeze definitely will clear him. Freeze going to stay on the outside and will be out there. Logan Helton coming to help out Green in that number 3. Off of turn number 2, 3 by 3, and the car starts to dance around. To talk to Della Vecchia, and after stage 1 said the cars get really light on corner exit. You can see it right there as they danced off of turn number 2.
Kevin Freese in the 25 out in front of the 51 of Travis Elliott. Randall Cobb in the 52 has used that third lane to get himself into this forward position on numerous occasions. Now finds himself with that clean air, not in the third lane. He is just ahead of the 4 of Rick Seabrands.
Yeah, right now that outside lane, the extreme outside lane, not having any momentum gain. Now Logan Helton will drop out of it. So Alex Green getting hung out to dry as they drive down the backstretch. Freeze out front. Elliott Green, your top 3 as they enter turn 3. Now at Dave Hunt, what a nice rebound for the driver, that number 53. Saw him in trouble with 2 yellow flags ago. Now racing inside the top 5 after using up that backup car. As I want to be up front, stay out of trouble here the rest of the way as they work through the tri-oval.
We're on board with the 63 of Logan Helton, but the 25 of Kevin Freese, your race leader. Check in on a driver at the tail end of the field here. That's the 40 of Peter DeBorgia. He is the car that is at the end of this lead lap line. Last car on the lead lap, Zach Fritsch just ahead of him in the 12, and the 071 of Eric Laurie. And Eric Laurie missing that bumper cap. He finds himself in need of some help, and Eric Laurie right in behind the 8 of Cody Ober and the 12 of Zach Fritsch pushing on him.
Clicking off another lap right here. And then now Dave Hunt gonna swing to the outside, bid for your race lead. Logan Helton trying to use the third lane, but no help up there. Anthony English kind of thinking about it. Can't quite make a decision off of turn number 2.
So Logan Helton in the third lane all by himself. And it is a long line before anyone would let him in. So he has got to hang tough and hope for an opening very soon. And if anyone can hang tough in that outside lane by themselves, that's the 63 of Logan, the Kid Helton.
They're doing a good job side draft and trying to keep these cars at bay. Doing a great job. And you see that middle lane kind of peeking the nose up there, giving a little bit of a toe to the 63 of Helton. He's going to pull. Very impressive. No help on the outside lane. Staying there. Anthony English side drafted him that time through the corner. Now Helton going to lose a little bit of ground, but doing a great job with no help. Has some room to get down. He will fill the hole. We stay, tuck it back in line. Impressive. That car, very stout. They brought a bullet here tonight to the Daytona International Speedway for Logan Helton, and Doug Rice doing a good job inside the top 10 once again.
So Doug Rice in the 35, challenging for a top 10 spot. The Sean Stevens machine, that's the Wild 27, right behind him. Sean Stevens, and then Jeff Crosby in the 33. So some great cars starting to line themselves up, working their way to the front of the field as this race is winding down.
Yeah, one car taking it behind the wall here. Jared Forbes has called it a night. He brings the 73 behind pit walls. That'll make our 4th retiree of the evening. As everybody still snakes around Daytona International Speedway 2x2. as they work through the gravel, putting lap 70 into the books. There's just 30 laps to go here tonight in the Night Team 250 for the OP Racing Series right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. I think Freeze might be the car to beat. He's been strong all night long, got caught up in that wreck. Now finds himself leading this one as he's getting a good push by Travis Elliott.
25, that black Kellogg's. Kevin Freeze out in front, but Dave Hunt in the 53 now leading that second lane from Buck Wild Racing. Dave Hunt working with his teammate Randall Cobb in the 52. Those two would love to score a race win. One more pit stop to go. Drivers last on pit road on lap 61. We are 10 laps into this fuel run. So just a handful of laps away from a round of what could be green flag pit stops.
Everybody doing a good job so far here in stage number 2. And Hunt really trying to fly on the outside. Doing a good job there with the Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University number 53. He gets a good shove right there by Randall Cobb. They can't get up there to challenge Freeze on the inside, who's got a great pusher with Travis Elliott. Those drivers doing a good job as they work down the backstretch. You can see them just moving around down the straightaway. These cars get very light and you start shoving at each other. Makes it even harder to handle.
So Peter DeBorgia is still the last car on the lead lap, down in 35th spot. But this line of cars is running all within 3 seconds from first place to 35th place. Cody Eldred in the 14, the first car 1 lap down. The 14 trying to stay in a nice little spot. We can ride around and log some laps and wait for a caution. We look at some of these other cars through the rest of this field. Dustin Barber in the 6, somebody we haven't talked a lot about here tonight, finds himself in 32nd place for the moment. Dustin, part of the Fuel Sim Racing team. Well, at the end of this running order, with plenty of laps to move himself forward, I still think that 6 is gambling on a big one. He's trying to be in that safe, comfortable area at the back of the pack.
Yeah, right now trying to just log laps, trying to get there, knowing at least one more pit stop going to be coming. That outside line is starting to get thinner and thinner, KR. I think these drivers starting to get in position as they know that that final pit stop, the money stop, is going to be coming up here within the next 4 to 5 laps.
$25 laps to go. I believe everyone's going to try and get to that fuel window where they only have to make one more stop. The 25 continuing to lead. Started on the front row and finds himself out in front once again. Sebastian Merritt, the other driver who started on the front row. Right now he is in 13th spot, working that second lane tucked in right behind the 63 of Logan Helton.
Doing a good job up there as well. Everybody playing nice right now. You're saying they need to make one more stop even if they stop now?
You know, if you stop now, you'd be at a 2 stops. We only get about 16 to 15 laps of fuel on these things.
Okay, stretch as long as they can right now. Dave Hunt coming back on the outside. Randall Down of that Buck Wild Racing 52, giving him a good push. Rick Seabrands has been inside the top 10 all race long, KR. That Yeti number 4 looking very stout here tonight.
Yeah, anytime Rick Seabrands starts working his way to the front, you know that 4 is sniffing hard at a win. Does not have one yet this season, so Rick looking for his first win of the season. But Rick Seabrands comes into tonight 12th place in the point standings. So kind of close on points, if you will, and trying to make it into the playoffs. He is 19 points to the good above Zach Workman. In the 19, Zach Workman just below the cutoff line currently. So these races are starting to get more and more important.
And after tonight, there'll only be 4 more weeks until that playoff cut line becomes permanent, locking in the top 16 drivers into that first round. So, and Workman working his way inside the top 10. That Instacart number 19 right there, the green and the white orange number 19. He's on the outside looking in right now and looking to put a good finish in here to help his cause. If the checker flag were to come out right now.
So the 4 of Seabrands, third car in line, the 51 of Travis Elliott, who overcame his issues, and 1 car headed for pit road. 2 cars, that's Eric Glory and Cody Eldred, making their way on the pit road.
So we're starting to see where they can make it, where we'll need one more stop. Can we see anybody stretch it? Yeah, they can get down to 18 laps to go. Can they make it that far? Can they go 17, 18 laps on a tank of fuel? I know you said 16. Or would you feel comfortable coming in a little bit earlier? That way you have enough fuel in case we have to go into our OP3 Rare Racing Series overtime.
Yeah, I think 18 laps to go is where you want to be, but here comes several race cars not able to get down to that 18 laps to go. So another round of green flag pit stops. Joey D in the 052 and Kevin Freese in the 25, the first 2 cars on the pit road in this group. That does give the lead to the 51 of Travis Elliott, as everybody is now down on that yellow line, as they know that fuel window is about ready to open up big time. But you're still early. You're definitely not going to be able to make it to the end here.
They're going to have to come at least one more time if you pit now, but maybe they are running on fumes, and just like that, yellow flag coming out, and this could change everything. It is going to change everything. It might not, but it is. That is a definite game changer right now. And the people that just came down pit road, they are sitting in the catbird seat right now. And how close were some of these drivers to being out of fuel? We've seen the 51 slow on the apron. What is our race leader?
And we're going to see if he can make it around. They got to catch up to the pace car. The pit lane's going to open up. Well, let's see what happened. And I believe it's for the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds. Reynolds and McCarrick make contact going into turn 3. Jimmy Reynolds goes for a spin. The 17 comes to a stop. Heavy damage on him. So as the field has caught up to the pace car, the 51 gonna be able to limp it around to pit lane.
Yeah, and it is sputtering. He is really low on fuel. It doesn't sound like it is running right now, KR.
Yeah, the 51 able to limp it on the pit road. Sometimes that's all you need. And he's gonna make it into his pit stall. Jeff Crosby on the pit road as well, but Dave Hunt, Randall Cobb, Sean Stevens, Doug Rice, these guys who all pitted right before that caution flag came out, going to essentially take over the race lead in a very easy way. They just right place, right time.
Yeah, it's right play call there is the number 14 of Cody Eldred. Gonna get the free pass. He'll be down 1 lap to the field once he completes that. I'm surprised that these drivers that were just on pit road lap 80 didn't come back down this time just to top off.
Well, I'll tell you, when track position is everything and you're at this late in the race, you get 1 or 2 cautions, you might be able to make it from here.
That is true. Very true, KR.
Big gamble, though. Still quite
Who
a
would have ever
stretch.
thought we would be talking about fuel strategy on a Superspeedway race?
Comes into play all the time here in OP. Just gotta be ready for when it does take place. The lights go out on the safety vehicle. That pace car gonna get out of the way the next time around. Buck Wild Racing on the front row for this restart. Dave Hunt and Randall Cobb. Well, that being said, the Bucks have gone wild. They are dancing in the snow, celebrating that their team has a good shot at winning this one. 52 and the 53 on the front row for this restart. So 33 cars on the lead lap. Cody Eldred in the 14 still. First car 1 lap down. Out of the race, Jared Forbes in the 73. He scored 38. Patrick Groover 39th. Seth Groover 40th. And 41st going to Hunter Reynolds. Sitting on pit road is Jimmy Reynolds and JD Crow. They have been there for an extended period of time. May be out of fast repairs.
Tough break there.
It is, but Al, green flag ready to come out once again.
Pace car down and away. Dave Hunt to the inside. Randall Cobb to the outside. Green flag is up and we are back underway. 16 circuits remain at the 2.5 mile Daytona International Speedway. And it is Randall Cobb getting a good push there from the 35 of Doug Rice. Teammates on the outside, getting up through the gearbox good, and then coming on the outside, 3 wide already. Anthony English making it high, wide, and handsome. He's got a head of steam by Travis Elliott right there behind him.
Anthony English jumping up into the 3rd lane. Travis Elliott in the 51. Big checkup out of the 63 of Logan Helton. And that has got a big shakeup throughout the whole field. It wasn't just a little checkup, and everybody seemed to shuffle because of that. Let's see where that caution flag came out.
They were on the 3 of Alex Green. He was 90 degrees at one point, I believe, KR.
Alex Green and Gabe Butler. getting together because of that checkup that started with a 63 at Logan Helton. Sebastian Marin in the 23, damage to his race car. The caution flag back out. Dave Hunt, your race leader.
What an amazing job everybody did to hold on to it. But Sebastian Marin, look at the 23 KR. Heavy front end damage to that Marin Racing number 23.
Let's see if he can get on the pit road and try and get that fixed. But I don't know, man. There's been so many cars involved in a crash here tonight that keeping track of who has what fast repair left pretty darn hard.
Hey, your guess is as good as mine when it comes to that. Looks like Marin did have his backup car in out of the old car into the new car, so Marin with a fresh car KR. Say that 10 times fast.
So he does get that fast repair used up. Well, Al, 14 laps to go. Gonna have the green flag with 12 laps to go. Dave Hunt last on pit road on lap 80. If we have any green-white checkered attempts, that could be bad news for the 53.
Think they can make it, KR?
Man, I don't know. But you got to gamble sometimes. You're not able to match the pace of the leaders and try and beat them in strategy. Not saying that the 53 and the 52 couldn't quite match the pace. They were up there to begin with. They just picked a slightly different strategy than most of this field, and that got to see if it's going to work.
If we get one more yellow flag and don't go to overtime, I think they're okay. If we go to overtime, I think they're in trouble. Regardless of the yellow flags.
Yeah, it's one of those where that green-white checkered is probably going to be very detrimental to them. It's only one winner, though. Hard to say who it's going to be right now.
You think we'll get another new winner this season?
I think we have a very high chance of that happening.
Could it be a Ford?
I wouldn't push your luck that much, Al.
No, there's only 2 left on the track. We need more Fords.
You know, maybe if they won more races.
I'm gonna paint one up, give it to somebody.
You keep threatening that.
Well, I got the logo now. Now I just gotta, we gotta get out of my regular job season here. Or I'm not wanting to pull my my hair out. Or what's left of it.
I'd hate to be an accountant this time of year.
It is not fun.
It's all right.
Hey,
at least we can come here and talk some racing.
Exactly. I look forward to that. But guess what's coming up right now?
Another
green flag racing.
Another restart. Lights are out on the safety vehicle. It dives down on the pit road. Buck Wild Racing on the front row for this restart. Green flag is out. Dave Hunt and Randall Cobb hard on the throttle as they try to beat everybody to the checkered flag. We got 12 laps to go.
Up through the gearbox they go. Anthony English going to give a good shove to the 52 of Randall Cobb. How about Bob Lacavera? Where'd he come from? He runs third in the outside lane. He's got Mark Mann with a good push to the backside of him. Logan Helton rebounding nice as well. As an outside line has the advantage into turn number 3.
Logan Helton in the 63. His teammate, the 04 of Mark Mann, right in front of him. They're trying to work together. Well, I say as they trying to work together, the 63 pokes his nose out to the third lane. Looked like he was fishing for somebody to try and go up there with him. He makes the move up there once again. Nobody goes with him. He's got a decent run on Mark Mann. All he needs is a little bit of help, but nobody there.
Nobody there just quite yet, but look at the facility for Miller. He's trying to get there, and we talked about this driver is hanging out at the back of the pack. Peter DeBorgia starting to make his way towards the front in that number 40. Business starting to pick up as this time by. Look at the 2 high 5 side. Oh, trouble! It's in trouble. Travis Elliott, Mark Mann. Big trouble on the backstretch into turn number 3.
Lots of cars involved. The 04 of Mark Mann involved in that one. So as the caution flag comes out once again, this is going to be a benefit for the drivers who did not come down pit road, but take a look at this one down the back stretch. Travis Elliott in the 51. Logan Helton, Dan Harrington, Zach Workman, Daniel Holloway, several race cars getting torn up. Off the nose of the 62 of Les Levy. Jim Mayer involved. A lot of race cars in this one.
A tough break for Travis Miller, KR. Did such a good job getting back into the thick of things. And gets involved in this wreck.
And take one more look at it. This one from the 3 of Alex Green. Let's start that over. From the 3 of Alex Green. And the C's part, and Alex is able to get right through that one.
Amazing driving right there. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Sometimes. Well, Al, another caution. Cody Eldred did get the free pass last caution, so he is back on the lead lap. Unfortunately, I think the 14 might have gotten a little piece of that, but no, he is on his way off of pit road. Oh, excuse me. Al, it's been exciting racing. My throat's starting to get scratchy.
Same with mine. I was just thinking the same thing, KR. I'm sitting here going, what is going to happen next? Well, we don't know. I can tell you it's going to be exciting. It's always exciting.
That's for sure.
Who's your money on?
I don't have money on anybody.
I think, I'm going to put my money on the first car across the line at the checkered flag. And then I'm going to tell you I told you so.
Yeah?
No.
Okay.
I like to talk up a big game. See, I have a battleship mouth and a rowboat. Well, you know.
Oh, my. Well,
how about Bob Lacavera up there in that 5th spot, KR?
good solid run shaping up for him in the 5.
Found himself deep in the points, so he needs a good finish here. to start to right the ship this season.
Oh, cars stacking up side by side, 2 by 2. We're going to get ready to go green flag racing once again and try and finish this one out. We've had quite a few cautions here tonight. Started with 2 very quick ones in stage number 1.
This is caution number 8 that we're coming to a close on. This not counting the stage break cautions. I don't count those. Those are made up. The points don't matter. Oh, wait.
I dig it. I like it.
But they do matter. How about Randall Cobb up here leading at KR? Now Bucks Wild Racing number 52.
Randall Cobb in the 52, just ahead of his teammate Dave Hunt in the 53. Gonna have 7 laps to go when the green flag comes out. 2 more cars out of this race. Jimmy Reynolds and Travis Elliott. Reynolds sitting on pit road, but he's been there for the last 17 minutes. I do believe he's going to call it a night at this point. So Travis Elliott out of this race as we got cars scrambling towards the back here as everyone seems to have had a major checkup around the 8 of Cody Ober.
Yeah, Ober not getting up to speed here, but up front, they got it settled out. But here comes Anthony English. He's getting a good push from the 27 of Sean Stevens. Stevens' name not been called much all night. Now finds himself battling for the win. As they come off of turn number 4, it'll be 6 laps to go. Alex Green gonna move up. Mayer, look at the 7 of Milam cutting down low. Sebastian Mayer gonna go with him as well. Joey Delavecchia tried to, but the 6 of Barber was there, blocking that run. And now Green will go around. Green and Barber making contact. So far we stay green with 6 laps to go.
Riding on board with the 7 of Josh Milam as he was making those moves. Alex Green in the 3, able to get rolling once again. We stay racing. So 35 of Doug Rice makes his way around Alex Green. Alex Green from the front to the back in a matter of moments. Bob Lacavera gets sideways coming off of 4, but he is able to gather it back in. They are 3 wide for a moment, but Anthony English in the 44 trying to win this one with 5 laps to go.
Just 5 laps to go. Crosby working the outside of that red Skull can. The Skull Bandit car working the outside. Here comes the 25 of Kevin Freese. Freese was up front most of this race, then fell back a little bit, but look at the outside line. Look at the momentum. The outside line has 3 wide, 3 rows deep as they work through turns 3 and 4. Randall Cobb down low. He's being pushed by the 53 of Haunt. Oh, contact! The car
Randall
sideways,
Cobb,
big trouble.
the lead pack involved. Somehow Jeff Crosby is able to hold on to it and maintains the race lead, but everybody in that lead pack getting involved.
One car upside down. That was Bob Lacavera. After having a great run, Crosby shown as your race leader. But he's got some heavy front end damage on the 33 Skull car. KR, let's take a look back and see what happened.
Crosby in the 33 getting crossed up. Anthony English in the 44. It looked like a bad bump from the 52 and the 53 down on the inside. And that is going to collect everybody, including the 5 of Bob Lacavera. And then they slide back up onto the track, and there's just nowhere to go as all lanes of traffic had closed off at that point.
This is a product of that 3-wide racing and wrong spot, wrong time. Kevin Freese getting involved with it. Joey Delavecchia going to go around. To tell you, the 23 at Nexus Esports, number 23 of Sebastian Marin, probably one of the luckiest drivers that the seas parted right in front of him. And it was on behind him. Lots of carnage, people not able to get on the binders. Peter DeBorgia, hard contact. The 97 of Funk also involved there. A lot of good race cars caught up, and I believe this might send us into overtime.
I do believe it will send us into extra laps.
That wrecked a lot of good race cars, Garrett, that were capable of winning this race.
It sure did. As that one came from everybody up front. So Crosby in the 33 involved in that one. Took a hard shot to the outside wall.
A lot of damage on that left front.
Yeah, got some damage there and able to stay out. I don't know if he's going to be hitting pit road. Awful lot of track position to give up.
Yeah, can he hold on to it up front? That is going to be the question.
So, no one making their way onto pit road this time, and Kevin Freese, Jim Mayer, Randall Cobb, Peter DeBorgia, a lot of these guys were caught up in that one. They are still working on their race cars, trying to get the damage fixed. As the lights go out, we're going to fire them off, and we are going to have a little bit of extra laps here. So, our first attempt at a green-white checkered.
We have 2 attempts, if needed. Could tonight be the night that Marin gets the victory? Can Crosby hold on? Crosby not been to victory lane this season, KR. He'd like to lock himself into that championship 16. Dave Hunt on the outside as well. Nobody inside of the top 5 has gone to victory lane this season. Oh, I take that back. 1 car in the top 5 has gone to victory lane this season.
It is old Joey D in the 052 picking up a win earlier this season. So a lot of hungry race cars, hungry race car drivers looking for a win.
A win will secure your championship spot in the round of 16. After tonight, only 4 weeks away till that happens. Pace car down in the way, green, white, checkered attempt, number 1 coming at you. Green flag is up, and we are back underway with just 2 laps remaining. Good push by Crosby. Look at Marin going to jump out to the outside. He's got Logan Helton. Remember, those 2 work well together.
Trouble in the back. Alex Green going around. We stay green, no caution. That is the second one within 10 laps for Alex Green, where no caution has come out. Sebastian Marin, Logan Helton out in front. Those 2 are battling for who is going to have the race lead. And Logan Helton in the 63 motoring right on by. Slides down in front of the 23. If we can get to the white flag, the next lap is it.
And Crosby really held up that inside lane. Joey Delavecchia still stuck back there. As you watch everybody goes by, look at Harrington out of nowhere. Dan Harrington sitting in that 4th spot. Could he play spoiler? Logan Helton gone to victory lane 2 weeks ago at the Talladega Superspeedway. He is out front in that Nexus Esports, number 63, Mirren, right to the back bumper. Here comes Zach Workman. Workman, remember we talked about him being on the outside looking in. A win would secure him into the playoffs. Down in the turn 3 for the final time. Who's it going to be? Will they stay in line? Who will pull out? Here comes Harrington with a head of steam. Logan Helen goes around. Harrington's in the wall. Seabrandt. Aaron's going to get away.
Sebastian Marin trying to outrun the crash, and Sebastian Marin in the 23 is going to cross the start-finish line. Dustin Barber in second. Cody Ober finishing in third.
What just happened? Where did they come from?
They came from deep in the field, but because everybody started crashing up in front of them, they worked through that and found a way into the podium. Let's take a look at the 63 and the pileup that happens as everyone is trying to get to the start finish line. No caution coming out when it's the white flag. And every man for himself in that situation.
You feel bad for Logan Helton up front there, having to do the blocking. Remember, all races are reviewed. It looked like Marin took a look down to the inside KR and then got a good shove from the 19 of Workman. And that got him right up to the left rear quarter panel of the 63 of Logan Helton. What a finish.
Spectacular finish for sure. So let's kick off our post-race show. And let's start it off by talking to another first-time winner. That is the driver of the 23 from Team Bootnaka. That is none other than Sebastian Marin. Sebastian, congratulations on the race win, man.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Feel like we've given away a few, so it feels good to finally get one.
Well, I'll tell you what, the 23 did an outstanding job all season. You've had some great stage wins. You were the leading the points of everybody who has not won a race, and now you put yourself into that race win category.
Yeah, man, it feels great. You know, I was already pretty much locked in points for the playoffs, but I wanted that win bad, especially being so close so many times, or just being in the wrong place at the wrong time, and just letting races get out of my head. So feels good to finally get a win, and hopefully this is momentum and we can go on and win many more.
Well, man, tell us a little bit about that last lap, last corner, and everything that happened there as we're watching it on a replay.
Yeah, I started on the last lap. I knew there was a lot of cars damaged, so I knew basically the clean cars were going to go to the front, and Logan came from the third. He gave me a push, and I went to the middle. He didn't follow me. He passed me, but I think me and him were one of the only fully clean cars, so I just stayed with him until entering 3. I kind of faked high, and then the 19 tried to go under me. I blocked him, which then he gave me a push, and by that time I was already under Logan, so when Logan went to block, I was already under him. And luckily, when he spun, it kind of took out the rest of the field, because I don't think I was going to win that race, because I had to put myself in the wall just to miss him. So a little bit, lucky, but fortunate enough I got the victory done.
Well, man, nice job. Once again, congratulations on the race win. That 23, an outstanding job. And ooh, feels good in the rookie season to get that win.
Yes, it does, man. It feels amazing.
Any shout outs or thank yous you'd like to give?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to you guys, putting on this broadcast. Shout out to OP for the lead. And shout out my teammates, Kevin, Joe, and JD for being such great teammates. And, now we're missing Kevin to try and get a win, but he's been having a lot of tough luck lately, so we'll see.
All right, man. Well, once again, congratulations. Nice job here tonight.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
That is Sebastian Marin picking up the win. And Al, it's time to move on to our second place finisher, and that is the 6 of Dustin Barber.
Yeah, caught down here with having a nice cold Coke with Dustin Barber and Dustin. You're going to take this forward, come home in that number 2 spot. But talk about your night. We saw you involved in a wreck early on in this race. Nice rebound, and then talk us through that last lap. That was wild.
Right, that was a crazy ride. Yeah, I think went against a lot of stuff early on in the race. Lap 1 used the fast repair, persevered, and was just the right place at the right time there on that last lap. I mean, damaged cars flew back, was able to get around them, and luckily was far enough behind that front pack when that happened. I was able to just dip down below the yellow and scheme through, luckily.
It's just talk about the race here tonight. The car seems to be on edge. You saw a lot of the cars just wandering all over the racetrack. How difficult was the conditions out here tonight? Just yet alone trying to miss the wrecks and all the chaos that is happening. What a wild race. How difficult was it? How white knuckled are you? And after this one,
I mean, the race was intense at times, especially with that 3 wide. I mean, I feel like these cars, when they were pushing, they would get a little loose. They were a little bit harder to control. But I mean, all in all, I feel like it was a good race. But yeah, it was definitely a white knuckle race for sure. if you got up near the front with that 3 wide racing, it was intense. That's a good word for it.
Well, a good overall night for you here tonight. We know the last few weeks have not gone the way you have. You've had speed in this race car, not able to get the finish. Now you're going to come home in that number 2 spot. It's got to feel good, especially with only 4 races remaining before that championship play. So a good push here, good points night overall for you and your race team here in this number 6.
I appreciate it. Yeah, this was a great finish. It's nice to have one of these every once in a while, kind of get you back in the spirit of wanting to come back out and race. Something like this will make you hang on for a while. So, yeah, it was definitely a good one.
Well, before we let you go, let's roll the red carpet out and let you thank everybody that makes it all possible. I know you got some sponsors on the side of that race car and some teammates you got to thank.
Yeah, I want to thank first you guys up on the booth that stick it out with us every Monday night. You guys do awesome. The guys at Turn 3, the people that put on these races, all the guys that come out and race, and definitely my teammates at FSR that keep the Monday nights fun and rolling, and we just all have a good time.
Well, congratulations, Dustin. We hope to talk to you maybe one spot better next week when we roll right on into the iRacing Superspeedway. That's going to be a fast one. Make sure you bring your fast reflexes for that one at 250 plus miles an hour.
That's right. Will do, man. I appreciate you guys, and thank you so much.
Yeah, there you go. Second place finisher here tonight, KR. The number 6 of Dustin Barber. Oh, so close with that Ford coming home in that number 2 spot. I believe you caught up with our third place finisher of Cody Ober.
I have caught up with Mr. Ober. Cody, how you doing, buddy?
Oh man, that was a race.
Was it? Oh, is that what it was? Here I've just been hanging out.
Half the time it was, it seemed like.
I just thought we were here to hang out and have a good time.
The end was a good time. The rest of the race, not really.
Well, man, that number 8 comes home in third place. Tell us a little bit about that last lap and what you had to go through to make that happen.
I I was honestly just trying to stay in a position to where if something happened, I could potentially capitalize. And just so happened that coming out of 4, they all got collected, and I saw an open up at the bottom, and so I shot down and made it through. I was trying to reel in Dustin before we got to the start finish, but wasn't fast enough.
Well, man, that 8 does bring it home in 3rd place. Cody, what? When are you gonna win one of these things?
You know, my last win was my Monday win a couple years ago. Ever since then, it's like all my luck got used on that one, and then I just kind of got thrown to the side.
Well,
hopefully I bring one home.
Well, bringing it home in 3rd is a good start to it. A podium finish always goes a long way for you, man. And a solid run for you as that 8 had a bit of an up and down night, but still
mostly
come
down.
out in 3rd.
Those last couple laps, I finally trended up, but it's almost like deja vu because this is how I got my 3rd place earlier in the season. Last lap wreck and made it through. So.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on 3rd place. Any shout outs or thank yous you'd like to give?
Want to thank everybody for coming out and tuning in, watching the race. I want to thank you guys for broadcasting. You always do a hell of a job. I want to thank my teammates for helping me out through the race. Yeah. That's about it.
Well, there you go, man. Once again, congratulations. Nice job, Cody.
Thank you, sir.
Cody Ober, our 3rd and final place on the podium. Nice job out there, Cody. Well, Al, this one's in the books. Nothing left but to talk about our race results. Sebastian Marin, Dustin Barber, Cody Ober, your podium finishing drivers. Then Dan Harrington and Mark Mann round out your top 5.
6th spot went to the Hall of Famer Jim Mayer in 6th. 7th with Daniel Holloway. 8th, Tyler Miller. 9th, Kevin Freese. And rounding out the top 10 for Bootnaka Racing, Joey Delavecchia.
11th was Dave Hunt. Richard Kuhn brings it home in 12th. David Overstreet 13th. 14th is Eric Laurie. And Les Levy from Checkered Flag Motorsports going to bring it home in 15th spot.
Jeremy Funk brings his 97 home in the 16th. Rick Sebrands in the Alliance Motorsports number 4 will come home 17th. David Booth will come home 18th. 19th would go to Josh Milam, and Cody Eldred in that number 14 will come home 20th.
Gabe Butler 21st, Jeff Crosby 22nd, 23rd Andy Brigante, Zach Workman 24th, and Doug Rice in the 35 brings it home 25th.
Alex Green will come home 26th. 27th will go to Sean Stevens in that Buckwild Racing number 27, last car on the lead lap. Logan Helton will come home 28th, 1 lap down, followed by Anthony English in 29th, and Randall Cobb 30th overall.
JD Crow 31st, Peter DeBorgia 32nd, 33rd Bob Lacavera, Zach Fritsch 34th, 35th Sean McCarrick, Travis Elliott going to bring it home in 36th, 37th Jimmy Reynolds, 38th Jared Forbes, 39th Patrick Gruber, Seth Gruber, and Hunter Reynolds round out our field here tonight. So guys, that is it. And Al, we head into another high-speed racetrack next week.
Yeah, make sure you bring your Hans device next week. Bring the popcorn. They were at the iRacing Superspeedway, 240 plus miles an hour with these Xfinity cars. We will provide the action. You guys provide the snacks. We'll be right here with you on the Turn 3 Racing Network. But if I don't talk to you before then, KR, you have a good Easter, and everybody out there watching on the Turn 3 Racing Network, enjoy your Easter Sunday. We'll be back to racing Monday night, and maybe we'll have some bunnies on the racetrack on Monday.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us here tonight, and we will talk to you all later next week.